What's up, guys? Happy Monday, January 30th, 2023. Hope you guys had a good weekend. You know, since WWE moved their events to Saturdays, Sundays felt like Monday. I'm just so used to that stuff being on Sunday nights. But, yeah, man, it was a Rumble weekend. We had the conference championship games yesterday. It's actually a pretty cool, pretty fun weekend if you're just into couch sitting and being entertained during this cold weather. And it seems like everyone I know, no matter where they are in the country, dealing with some winter weather right now. So hopefully you guys are out there bundled up, safe, warm, and I don't know, maybe make some money tonight hanging out with the family, maybe watching a little NBA, because there are 8 of those games from the league going on tonight. And for the next hour and a half, 2 hours, we're going to be researching those games, try to find some leans for our daily fantasy player pool, and perhaps even a player prop or two. So shout out to the live chat. What up, Jake? What up, Brooklyn? Patrick Bush, Beastbet sent me here. I feel like I've seen your name before, Patrick. What up, Noel? What up, Ducking? What up, Kevin? Hope you guys are doing all right. What up, Vic? Thought you was going to replace Ray at the Rumble. Hey, man, I couldn't get there in time, bro. I got stuck in traffic. What a waste of a spot, right? I don't know. I still don't know what that was about. I have a friend that lived in San Antonio, and he said Ray actually had to cancel a autograph signing earlier that day, so I don't know if there was more to it than that. What up, Mike? What up, Josh? Hope you're doing all right. What up, Tizzle? Yeah, it's cold actually, and I'm sure like most of you guys will like laugh at me, right? But I've gotten several alerts from my local law enforcement about a winter storm warning, which is in effect until 6 a.m. Wednesday. You know me, I don't keep these shelves stocked or anything, so it is going to be, I believe it's going to be under freezing for the next couple of days. But like, I have friends that I was talking to this morning. It's like -7 degrees over there, right? So I always feel a little bit weird about complaining it. But you guys know different areas of our geographic nation handle stuff like this better than others. So under freezing for you know, the locals, it could be as bad as some spots up north where people know how to handle themselves. You know what I'm saying? We're dealing with 80s in Tampa. Good Lord. I like it cold though. I really do. I really wish I lived in a snowy climate area. What up, Shane? What up, Hugo? Welcome to the channel. -15 wind chill here in Green Bay. Yikes, man. Yikes. This weekend will be snowing in Mass. That's good. I like snow. I feel like winter is later than usual too this year. But it's getting bad. So, all that to say this. Hey, man, stay warm, stay safe, and, you know, be responsible. If you got to leave a little bit earlier to get where you got to go, leave a little bit earlier, man. Easy. What up, Mr. Portugal? It's going to be -2 here in Mass this upcoming Friday or Saturday. That's crazy. Negative. That was my weekend. It was pretty chill. So on Saturday night, we did the Royal Rumble Squares, kind of a yearly tradition. Last year was the first time we didn't do it in years, but I would say 6 of the last 7 years, maybe even 7 of the last 8, we do the Royal Rumble Squares. And I drew, who did I had 3 in each. I had like Booker T and can't even think. But anyway, I got like quickest elim and most elims. Because I had Gunther. Yeah, I had Gunther in that one. So it's not just who wins. We do a bunch of side bets too. Who lasts the longest, who's the quickest eliminated, who gets the most eliminations, who wins. So that was fun. And then yesterday, relaxed a little bit. Got a little video editing done for Wrestling Company. And watched some football. And then I took my happy butt to bed. And now we're here to grind. So hopefully you guys were able to chill a little bit too. Let's jump open into the news, man. Get caught up on what we need to get caught up on. Let me know if you guys, if the music's not mixed properly. Sometimes it's a little louder than I intended, but I never really truly know. So if you feel like the music's a little too loud, let me know, and we'll try to adjust. News to watch via Underdog NBA as of 3 p.m. Eastern. Joel Embiid, questionable. Luka Doncic, questionable. Trae Young, questionable. Rudy Gobert, questionable. Ben Simmons, questionable. Burn one, I appreciate that sub. Ben Simmons, questionable. Yusef Nurkic, questionable. Daniel Gafford, questionable. And Josh Hart, questionable. And Joel Embiid, we saw him on the sidelines yesterday in Philly. There's a picture that went a little viral. Him standing next to Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart never looked so small. He was out in the elements yesterday, speaking of the devil. So that's what we're going to watch. Anything else that popped out pertinent today? I don't really think so. If anything drops, I guess Langford confirmed out, stuff like that, but nothing massive. And then we already know some big stuff like LeBron and them down. So if anything drops while we're live, spam the chat. We'll get it situated. This stream, as always, powered by RunDFS.com. We're going to be using the NBA DFS spreadsheet. So if you guys want to get access to the spreadsheet, you can go to RunDFS.com, click VIP memberships, find something that's right for you. I recommend the All-Star to All-Star break pass because this is going to get you locked in until the MLB All-Star break, which is July 11th, and that'll get you a taste. If you never played MLB DFS before, I do feel like my spreadsheet is in a league of its own when it comes to bridging the gap between new player and advanced metrics. Not to say I had the smartest stuff, but I do think it's the most friendly for someone to walk in off the street and understand advanced metrics and how to use them. So if you're looking to try a new sport, check out the All-Star break to All-Star break pass. You also get a voucher credit towards Fantasy Cruncher. No matter which pass you are interested in, each one has a different denomination of credit towards Fantasy Cruncher. So if you're trying to manage a portfolio of lineups, that is the optimal optimizer I use. So if you're in the Discord, I can talk with you on how I use it to best manage my lineups. Once you do upgrade to a membership of your choosing, click VIP portal, and there will be a link to a couple spreadsheets. The most important link that you need to get to is the RunDFS.com Discord link, and that'll pop you open into here. Shout out to Jakob Hurtado. I love that name. Hindulicious. Some of the recent Vipers. We will be in the pre-lock voice chat for quite a bit after this stream, talking the slate, making our player pool, stuff like that. So come be part of the community. Love to have you. We'll talk more about that again later. One more glance at chat, and then we'll get into game-by-game breakdowns. What up, Chester? What up, Abel? What up, Nick? What was the winning score last night on DraftKings? I usually take Sundays off, so I didn't have a pulse of what happened last night. Last night was only a couple games late, right? So even less interesting to me. Almost everyone had man. Nobody had Jetty Osman. Dang. Yeah, I have no idea what happened yesterday in terms of DFS. I do remember seeing a couple of people I follow on Twitter ironically celebrate that TJ McConnell for once wasn't a good play, but it was a slate that no one cared about, no one played because we're watching football, you know? Jacob? Okay. All right, that's cool. Well, welcome, Jacob. Glad to see you. It was a good day to take off the Clippers broke the slate. Oh, you hate those. Oh, I did see that they had like a different starting lineup in the second half. They do that every now and then. Ty Lue is known for like just going full crazy at halftime if it's a large enough deficit, right? All right, let's jump in. Game number 1, 7 p.m. tip-off time. The island game of lock. Only one game to make our decisions here. Project starting 5 for the Orlando Magic. Markelle Fultz, Gary Harris Jr., Franz Wagner, Paulo Banchero, Wendell Carter Jr. taking on James Harden, DeAnthony Melton, Tobias Harris, PJ Tucker, and Joel Embiid. We got 229.5 total. And the Sixers favored by 9, leaving the door open to a blowout. We do have a GTD tag, or a Q tag rather, on Joel Embiid. We've seen this scenario a few times this year where Joel Embiid carries a Q tag all day and then 2 hours before lock, Doc Rivers interviewed and is like, well, Joel's got to go out there, see how he feels. And if he could go, he could go. So he's probably questionable, but I don't know. He is listed as questionable with a sore left foot. I think the last couple of Q tags he's carried in this scenario, he's kind of played. Because it's the first game at lock, I don't necessarily think it's going to become a massive issue. I do think the 9-point spread kind of leads me towards guessing he's in closer than out. If he does play, we might get one of those situations where people wait for this Embiid news all day because they want to play Harden's insane usage in the absence of Embiid, and then Embiid gets rolled in and they just forget, oh, hey, Embiid could also continue this all-star snub narrative and just go bananas. I got him for almost 60 fantasy points on FanDuel, 55 on DraftKings, so profiles is a decent enough play. All things considered, a pace down spot and a lopsided spread. So I think they just kind of make the tier 3 player pool for me. That's Harden and Embiid. If Embiid can't go, we'll see what they do with that front court. We've seen them use PJ Tucker stretched out at the 5. We've seen them kind of flip a coin, Montrezl Harrell, Paul Reed, stuff like that. So thankfully, this is the first game at lock, and we should have that information 30 minutes before lock, probably. So we'll just act on that. Sixers are the same approach for me every slate. The Magic are starting to become a similar approach for me every slate, where they're so healthy and such a deep rotation that generally I don't have a strong inclination to get to anyone at a high level or tier 1 or anything like that. I can see, at least on DraftKings, a merit to get in some of these prices because I can get behind, $5,700 price tag on Markelle Fultz, little revenge game narrative, point per minute on 29-31 minute window. Yeah, I could get behind that. Don't necessarily need to make that a priority, closer to 7K on FanDuel. And then essentially three of the starting, or almost 4, but 3 of the starting 5 are 7K or above. So not as stackable as maybe they were earlier this season when they were a little less healthy. But on the DraftKings, if you isolated them up a little bit, I think I would put I'd probably just set a cap of 1 Magic in a lineup anyway, me personally. So that's how I would attack it. Wendell Carter Jr. 6,100, Paolo Banchero almost 7K. I need that 40 plus. I think Wendell Carter and Markelle Fultz look the most interesting to me in terms of points per dollar and the projection. But if this game does get super lopsided, it could go any which way and I won't have a strong lean. So if I ended up with no Magic in 20 or less lineups, I'm not going to lose sleep. Wouldn't mind having a share of Harden or Embiid. This stretch where Embiid has been back and Maxi's been getting a little bit more involved has seen Harden's ranges of outcomes kind of drop a little bit. So if you had less appeal or less interest in James Harden, again, wouldn't fault you. Embiid would be my most interesting play in this game, but he has to be at that price point, coming in as top 2 price player on the slate, and then Luke is still dealing with an injury, so there's a chance that Embiid could end up being the most expensive player on the slate, and then because of that, we probably require him to be the highest scorer on the slate. Yeah, let's get caught up in chat. Had Boston Jr. return. Yo, I saw Brandon Boston Jr. Who's the other guy? It was like somebody I'd never heard of before. I was like, who the heck is that? I made a joke in Discord. You think Embiid sits tonight? It's possible. Hey, I'll ask this, and there's no right or wrong answer. But if you thought Embiid sat, and if you believe Vegas knows everything, would Embiid, would the Sixers be 9-point favorites if we knew Embiid was out right now? And that's kind of like an opinion. Like, I don't. If you said yes, that's fine. If you think no, that's fine as well. I feel like no, just because Embiid's been that valuable, 33 plus points per game. So the spread kind of leans me to put him at 55-60% in, and vice versa, especially on this little all-star snub thing that is actually pretty crazy that he didn't make it, right? Moses Brown, no. It was somebody I really don't remember. Here, I'll just scroll up because it's gonna be one of those things that bug me. Jason Preston. So Jason Preston, Brandon Boston Jr. starts second half ahead of Nick Batum and Norman Powell, and I was like, what the F is a Jason Preston? That's such a new name for me. Maybe he was a college goat, but I don't really dabble in college. Here, what up, Tyler? Hope you're doing all right. All right, Lakers at the Nets, going to 7:30 time slot. Again, island game in terms of just the only game at that lock time. So only 2 games in the first hour, and both games lock individually. So you can kind of stagger some of your decision making, and maybe not feel like you have to have a CSV perfect before lock. And if you didn't love that first game, and I think it's fair, like if Embiid was in, like I would want a little share of Embiid, but like I think he's the only thing that I would really want to get to. Have your Embiid exposure set, and then have a CSV upload of it, and then you could just swaptimize into other stuff with a little bit more time to develop, react to news, and stabilize your projections, right? Lakers project starting 5: Dennis Schroeder, Patrick Beverley, Troy Brown Jr., Rui Hachimura, and Thomas Bryant taking on Kyrie Irving, Joe Harris, Royce O'Neal, Ben Simmons, and Nick Claxton. 230 total, much like the Sixers. The Nets favored by 9, and it's probably because there's no LeBron James, there's no Anthony Davis, so that leaves Russell Westbrook, who in a similar split the last several times has continued to come off the bench. And then we kind of piece together what the rest of the Lakers do. I think Rui Hachimura has a real interesting price point here at 4,100, settling with his new team at this price point. Doesn't need a whole lot. I'd probably expect a little bit of ownership this far out to be attached to him. Let me peek over. Oh yeah, Lakers are the chalkiest players on the slate: Bryant, Hachimura, and Westbrook. So if that holds up, we gotta deal with that. We gotta own that. But I think that's fine. I think all these guys individually at their price point, considering what's missing in the LBJ and AD usage, that they're underpriced, and it is what it is. All right, so let's see if we can quantify what could happen in the absence of LBJ and AD. And I really don't know that there's going to be a large sample size minute-wise to work with, but I guess let's put Bryant on. We'll put a couple guys. We'll take... Okay, why is it still showing LeBron? LeBron in and of himself is 32% usage at worst, sometimes upwards of 40. So this could get real weird. Dennis Schroeder, kind of interesting here. Let's take LeBron. It's a hard slate. You think so? It's all right. Man, wow, he is struggling today. So, how are things? Who likes cake? This is taking forever. I might just refresh the whole thing. But then again, no, here we go. The long pause. All right, in that split, we're not going to do anything else. But even though it still shows AD, I don't understand what's happening. Westbrook 1.4, there we go. Westbrook 1.4 fantasy point per minute. Thomas Bryant 1.1. Of course, there's not going to be any sample size on Rui Hachimura. Westbrook, the highest usage rate. What about Schroeder? Schroeder's about 1 fantasy point per minute at a 24% usage. 46% assist rate for Russell Westbrook. So I do think Westbrook makes the pool. High tier 3, low tier 2 for now. And then Schroeder on DraftKings, a $1,400 difference between FanDuel and DraftKings. His DraftKings price is really netting a positive result for me, especially if the Nets continue to funnel fantasy points to the guard position with Claxton and Ben Simmons often clogging the paint, and Royce O'Neal. You see even in their fantasy points allowed, I think they're amongst the fewest fantasy points allowed to both the power forward and center position. So if you let that kind of usher some decision making, I think Dennis Schroeder is somebody I get to more than I should. Ultimately, let's go get Team DVP. Yeah, Brooklyn's bottom 5 in fantasy points allowed to the front court. So I'll get to Schroeder. I'll get to Westbrook, Hachimura, Thomas Bryant. Beverly at 4K is intriguing, and Troy Brown the same. I do think there's a couple of landmines that could prevail. All right, if Lonnie Walker played. By the way, what is the status on Lonnie Walker? Because if Lonnie Walker played, there's like a Troy Brown, Lonnie Walker. He's probable. I think there's a pathway to one or two of those guys being underwhelming and kind of fall flat. But looking at ownership projections, I don't think we have to sweat an uncomfortable amount. So let's create a hierarchy, I guess. I think it's what. I guess in the sake of points per dollar, I don't know. I like Schroeder more than I should. I think Schroeder is probably my favorite points per dollar. And then Westbrook's right there. And Thomas Bryant's hard to move past. I feel like maybe I should resweep projections because it feels a little too light. Yeah, I think once I... thinking out loud here. I might have to fix the minute projections. I think I might be a little light. Troy Brown 27, Lonnie Walker 23, Hachimura 27. I probably push Bryant or Hachi, if not both, to 30 plus, and that would already, yeah, that would make their projection even more likely for me to land on. All right, so Schroeder 1. Hachimura probably 2 on DraftKings, but if you put Thomas Bryant in front of him, sure. And then Westbrook has likely the likeliest highest ceiling. Easy to choose from on the other side. Kyrie Irving pushing 10.5 to 11K. Needs to put up a fantasy score that can be in contention of the most on the slate. Comes in top 4 in my early projections, and 2 of those guys include Luka Doncic and Joel Embiid, and there's at least a chance that those guys, one or the other, if not both, didn't play today. So Kyrie, if things settled the right way, could be a top 2 projected scorer. So I'm interested. It is a lopsided game spread wise, and if the Nets smoked the Lakers, nobody would be surprised. Past Kyrie, Ben Simmons is an intriguing click. Would like to see a more stable amount of minutes, I guess, for anyone past Kyrie. Let me pull up Ben Simmons. He has a Q tag on him, huh? 29. So we haven't seen him go past 30 consistently in the last 5 games. Let me see if we can get an update on his status. Because I saw TJ Warren had a tag on him as well. TJ Warren's doubtful, and Ben Simmons questionable. Left the Pistons game early. Didn't play the next game against the Knicks. What did they roll out? They went double guards, Irving, Seth, Harris, triple guard, Royce, and Claxton. And then we saw 36 and 34 minutes from Royce and Claxton. All right, we'll see if they run that back. All right, while we're here, I'm sorry if I don't seem organized, chat. I really just research out loud. All right, let's pull up Brooklyn. And I do want to look at Claxton, because Claxton's usage has been pretty high in this stretch without Kevin Durant, like over 20%. And it is 19.5% officially with 1.2 fantasy point per minute. So looking at his shot volume as of late, just 6 shots against the Knicks. Now, the Knicks have been one of the better interior defenses all year, but prior to that, double-digit shot attempts in 3 games straight, 5 of his last 6 of his last 7, and his shots are going to be extremely high percentage because a lot of dunks, right? A lot of in-the-paint stuff, and the Lakers have been bleeding points in the paint all year. So, what's a point prop we can get on Nick Claxton today? or a fantasy prop. 16.5 points. Somebody stop me. Somebody stop me. I wonder if actually, maybe I should chill out. Maybe this should be a if Ben Simmons plays click, because I could certainly see a path to, and we saw it against the Knicks. If Ben Simmons didn't play and they ran a Harris, Seth Curry, and Kyrie, those guys would probably take more shots. So let's run the split on that. So with those three on, Claxton's usage 19.6%. And then let's put Ben Simmons off the court, because Ben Simmons is obviously a pass first type of guy. Claxton prop 24 points, 20 rebounds. 24 points. Portugal, where are you seeing that? Or is that like an alt line with like crazy odds? 24 points, 20 rebounds? Yeah. Oh, that's your projection. What up, Crispy? What up, Travis? What up, White Nose? Loving Hachimura today. It's definitely not sneaky in the projections. He was top 2 in ownership. Can Lakers defend Irving? No, this version of the Lakers team, I guess Patrick Beverley, but I wouldn't be worried about defense, especially versus a usage like Kyrie. Anyway, get back to the on-off court tool. So Claxton's usage kind of stays the same. Okay. You made that up? Okay. What up, Jimmy? I'm on Claxton's points no matter what, I think. But I actually feel like I would be more confident if Ben Simmons was in rather than out, if that makes sense, right? Ben Simmons, if you look at our advanced stats, Ben Simmons has a 30% assist rate, whereas if he's replacing this lineup by Seth Curry, it goes down to 13.5%. So Claxton could go from 3rd in the pecking order in terms of who scores to 4th, and it's enough of a backstep. With that said, this line's extremely low for a guy that's probably going to take 7 or 8 shots with an implied 80 to 90% field goal percentage. So I'm very keen on the over on the points, and then the fantasy points is at 39.5, so almost 40. Wow, that's a really low point projection. I'm over on the fantasy as well, but I think I'd rather take the points here. So let's go Nicholas Claxton over 16.5 points on the list. You guys cool with that? I guess I'll asterisk. Feel better if Simmons is in, but playing it no matter what. What's up, Donnie? What up, K Johnson? You're bad toothache. Oof. Just get rid of the tooth. Tie some fishing string to it. Put it on a doorknob. Slam the door, bro. Just get it over with. Where do we see your picks at, Jacob? Talking about for like PrizePicks or for like DFS? My player pool and projections, all that stuff, that's behind a paywall. Otherwise, I'm just spitballing everything for free. I don't hold nothing back here, by the way, so don't think it's one of those scenarios. But yes, a lot of stuff can change in the 2 hours after the show. But all my stuff is behind the paywall at rundfs.com. If Ben Simmons did play, 6,500 on FanDuel is a fun price. I like the net there. Royce O'Neal got me in trouble the other night. There's a range of outcomes for Joe Harris and Seth Curry to get there. I'm getting a decent projection on Seth Curry. The 9-point spread kind of leaves the door open for a lot of menace. Yeah, Seth Curry's been all over the road in terms of shot volume. Okay. Over on the Schroeder PRA, you think so? Let's go back to LA. Let's see what it is, actually. Let's just put Lakers in here. Wait, do we even have... Oh, there we go. Dude, Celtics jersey? Come on, PrizePicks. 23.5 PRA? No LeBron, no AD. What's the point prop then? 15.5? So they're like implying him for 8 rebounds and assists. 4.5 assists. That's fair. That's fair. All right, so let's go Schroeder on. I guess it really just depends on how much overlap with Westbrook. Because if Westbrook was, not playing, that'd be a lock. Let's go back to just these two. PrizePicks not available in your state, so I use FanDuel. Been on a losing streak. Jacob, if I'm being honest, and I love PrizePicks because they're a big partner of ours, but you have to select at least 2. So, like, if you're struggling on player props individually, I don't know that PrizePicks would be the right move. Just try to grind. I don't know. I can't really speak on your situation, but I don't know what kind of bets you're making, who you're betting on, stuff like that. But obviously, there's a process on perhaps finding the most EV opportunities on the board. I don't want to derail it, but hopefully you get better. Okay, so Schroeder in this split, 23.8% usage rate. Assist rate's meh. Looks like less, over 40% of his shots are three balls in that split. 5, 6, 5. Let's go to StatMuse. What do you guys think? Dennis Schroeder, DKP by game log without LeBron James. That's 10 games. Strong Island, let's go. South Beach. Somebody told me the other day, when you're in New York, if someone's from Staten Island, because they tell you they're from Staten Island. And I was like, I don't remember just saying that. But 5, 7, I don't have a strong lean on Dennis Schroeder. I wish I felt a little bit more conviction in this, but I don't. So I don't want to push something. You know what I'm saying? All right. The strongest conviction I got is Claxton over real points. Everything else just kind of exists. I guess with Schroeder taking 40% of his shots from 3. Let's look at the metrics for the Nets. And I will say, Ben Simmons, as much as I think it's a boost for Claxton when Ben Simmons is in, it also does degrade the defensive efficiency a little bit more too, I think. Not that Royce O'Neal is a scrub, but I think O'Neal, Ben Simmons, Claxton, those 3 together are really good at locking up the paint. You take one out, it's a little bit more fluffy. So, I don't know. Opponent 3-point frequency. Highest to least. Brooklyn is actually lower than I thought they would be. All right, cool. What about Chua? We'll get there. Losing is learning. Yes, but no. Like, don't accept it. Always ask yourself, what can you do different, right? Especially if you're newer and you're going through it. So if you're grinding, like if you're putting in the work every day, the research slates, and you're not at least seeing or understanding what's winning consistently, like what type of lineup construction, and you're not like trying to reverse engineer that and just kind of see, hey, what would I have done or have to do to get to that type of a lineup, then yeah. But don't just keep playing and expect one day to hit, you know what I mean? So yes and no. I bet parlays is probably because I've been placing too high of legs. Yeah, parlays is your likeliest outcome when you play parlays is you're going to lose money. But my recommendation would be, it's fine to like your parlays, but try to get some hedge going. If you at least want to sustain a little bit of break even to profitability, get in some of those individual bets. Parlays will trap you. Won like 500 on FanDuel, but losing is never fun. Definitely not. Do you know who Raz is? Places like a few hundred on PrizePicks and wins crazy. I have no idea who that is. You're not talking about Jazz Raz from Stochastic? If so, yes. And he's a monster. But otherwise, just the word Raz, no. All right, cool. Let's move on to the next game. Kings at the Timberwolves. So another 30 minutes have gone by, and now we got a couple of games during this this time. Kings project starting five: De'Aaron Fox, Kevin Huerter, Harrison Barnes, Keegan Murray, Domantas Sabonis taking on D. Russ, crossing over with Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Kyle Anderson. The Andersons got tickets to the game. How'd they get tickets? Rudy Gobert. We got a 237.5 total with a 1-point spread in favor of the visiting Sacramento Kings. Rudy Gobert and Taurean Prince both carrying a tag on him. So has Gobert played through this tag? I feel like he has. He's dealing with that groin, right? At least Edwards doesn't have a tag today. Groin played against Sacramento on the 28th. 36.5 fantasy points. Man, that's 6,600. Such a sight. So I would expect that to just be the same scenario. If he keeps playing with it, my projection would be that he plays tonight. But let me at least do a little bit of due diligence here. Jazzrat, yeah, he's a monster. That is one of the smartest guys. Just listening to him talk, the smart guy. Rudy Gobert, right groin soreness. 31 minutes, 4 straight. Okay, so nothing is nothing. So such a high total here, and the reason being is Sacramento, maybe to some surprise. I actually had one of my buddies the other night text me, like he's into basketball, but he doesn't follow it too like we do. He's like, "Gun, the Kings are the 2 seed. How did this happen?" I was like, "Dude, their offense is legit." Give them a little bit of credit because they took a lot of heat when they did the Sabonis Halliburton trade. But man, it's working. 117.6 points per 100 possessions. They are right now essentially the best offensive rating in all of basketball, and it's working. And because of that, it's creating a lot of points, a lot of implied points. And two of these, the two teams in this game have really, really high paces. So we should be able to run back a lot of expectations from game one. And in that game, we saw a 237, so right on the nose of what our total is here. And I like Anthony Edwards so much so that we had to nominate him as the thumbnail boy. There we go, thumbnail boy. That sounds bad. The thumbnail cover player. 21 shot attempts in that last game. We're expecting probably 20 plus shot attempts during this stretch without Karl-Anthony Towns. He's just been a menace offensively and doing a little bit of everything. So if you're going to up the pace, it also raises the floor of his defensive peripherals for me. Putting Edwards on the court, let's take Cat off this season. And we've seen him have, some of these big steal games too. 4 steals, 3 steals, 2 steals. So I like Anthony Edwards a lot tonight. And if this becomes one of those slates where Luka and Joel Embiid end up sitting, maybe more people get to him just because. But I kind of hope those guys sit because I do think there's a decent to strong range of outcomes for Edwards to be a monster play in terms of becoming optimal tonight. What am I looking at? Okay, Edwards, 1.18 fantasy points per minute, 28.5% usage rate. Just really, really strong numbers. So I like him quite a bit. Everyone else is kind of a secondary to tertiary play for me, but I think it makes a lot of sense to be interested in the D'Angelo Russell. He's coming off a couple of very usable games for DFS, 40, 44, 49, a lot of this alongside Anthony Edwards. So I don't mind getting to him. I don't know that there would be negative enough correlation that I don't think the ceilings would coincide. Like, I don't think we have to do anything with Russell and Edwards today. If they fall together, they fall together. Let the projection do its thing. Rudy Gobert in the front court, the 8K price point on FanDuel. less appealing than the $6,600 price tag on DraftKings. We have seen some volatility in his minutes. Maybe this grind issue, something they're being cautionary with. But he has played 34 or more minutes in 3 of his last 4, and the one they didn't was 31 minutes. But his involvement can go from 5 shots to 12 shots. You know the rebounds are going to be there, the blocks likely there, but the output not as consistent. But I do think the floor to ceiling ratio at 6,600 is high enough that I'd get some exposure to it. I just probably wouldn't tier 1 it. If it would probably high tier 3 to low tier 2, just based on the median outcome being so solid, and a strong enough ceiling. Taron Prince, how serious is Prince's situation? Questionable with left ankle. He missed Minnesota's last 4 games with strained ankle. There's no concrete option. All right, cool. So has that created a palpable beneficiary from the second unit? We've seen Nate Knight get some run. Nasri can be very foul prone. 2 fouls in 2 minutes in the first quarter last game. Luka Garza had a tag in, so I don't really think so. Did Colin Anderson get in foul trouble? 1 foul in the first quarter, 1 foul in the second quarter, 1 foul. So he had 3 fouls in his first essentially 9 minutes. So if you're worried about Colin Anderson's 26 minutes, probably more foul induced than anything, right? Prior to that, maybe not. Larry, appreciate that sub, Larry. Hope you're doing all right today. Maybe not. Maybe I'm giving Colin Anderson too much leeway. But that was a random game where Nathan Knight was getting run. Like, how often do they run Knight and Gobert together? You know what I mean? I don't know. I want to talk myself into trusting Colin Anderson's minutes to be closer to 34. And then of course, so all right. I hate playing slow-mo, but makes a lot of sense. All right, you get caught up on chat. Make sure to always watch the show, especially when Colin Anderson's on the slate. Oh man. Man, there's a couple. I gotta make new ones, man. They're starting to phase out. The new guys haven't been getting phrases. Karl Anthony Towns, and they like all play for the Timberwolves too. Anthony Edwards would do the crossing over. I don't know if you guys remember the show. It was like crossing over with John Edwards. It was like a sidekick or whatever. He would stand in front of a crowd, be like, "I'm thinking of a letter P," and then some random old lady. My grandfather's name was Pete. Ah, yes, he wants me to tell you hello, or you know what I mean. So, crossing over was the name of that show, I believe. I want to hear the Siri voice say "you're." We could do that, right? Google text to speech. That's not Siri though, is it? Fantasy Schroeder over on Fantasy. You like that hidden? I didn't have like a strong. We'll deal with that later. I didn't have a strong lean on him. My favorite like prop in that game was probably gonna be Claxton over real points. Do you think the Warriors and Thunder will get under 242.5 points tonight? Let me tackle that when we get there. I don't feel comfortable getting too hidden. Appreciate that sub. I don't really have an opportunity to bet on money lines and spreads where I'm at, so I don't really feel the best about recommending something. I gotta redo that spread here. So I don't want to. I don't like to put people on stuff I can't put money on, if that makes sense. So I can do player props all day long, but I don't want to get you in trouble on the spreads or the totals. I know someone that saw that guy privately. He told him some crazy things that were 100% true. I don't know, man. The voice when somebody super chats. There we go. Fox is getting an okay projection for me. 47 fantasy points, 45 on DraftKings. Really, really cheap. I think his floor to ceiling is a little bit more stagnant than we would want it to be, but 50 plus fantasy points is a range of outcome, so I don't mind getting to him. I wouldn't want 0 if that makes sense. I gotta remove this song from the rotation. And then Sabonis is the guy that obviously I want to get to a big clip. How did he do that last outing against Gobert? 43 fantasy points, 9 for 13 shooting, 5 assists. I feel like that's not normal. That's probably more of a potential assist didn't go his way, right? A lot of missed shots. Let's see, stat muse. Sabonis, KP by game log versus Gobert. Last 2 games. Hit ibuprofen by the 600 milligrams every 4 hours for a few days, but not more. For Moose? Where's Moose at? Moose under the weather? So I missed it. Oh, bad toothache. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's tough, bro. Just out of curiosity, see some shooting. Harrison Barnes is 1 for 7. Herter 4 for 12. Fox 10 for 24. So I'm just gonna assume this is where those assists went. And that I'm okay with trusting some positive regression for Sabonis, and I think he's coming in as top 2 in projection. He's right up there for me with guys like Joel Embiid, so he's gonna be in the pool. He's gonna be in the mix, absolutely. Wizards at the Spurs. Project starting 5 for the Wizards: Monte Morris, Bradley Beal, Corey Kispert, Kyle Kuzma, Daniel Gafford up against Trey Jones, Malachi Branham, Kelton Johnson, Jeremy Sohan, and Jakob Poeltl. Am I not Poeltl enough for the Poeltl Club? Daniel Gafford has a tag on him. That's a pretty significant one. And then, wait, what is? Oh, Porzingis is healthy, right? Why didn't I? He's on an injury report. I didn't even type him up. So let's do Kyle Kuzma, Kristaps Porzingis, and let's fix that. So that kind of, oh man, that sucks because I've been playing Denny Avisa, like that's my secret. But let's see, if Gafford's out, we might be able to get those minutes to Avisa no matter what. So let's go Washington. What's your favorite over/under for fantasy scores today? Bryce, we're still kind of perusing through. The only one I wrote down so far is Nick Claxton over 16.5 points with the fact, I guess, that I would feel better if Simmons was in, but I would play it probably irregardless of Simmons' status. But the thinking is Simmons is a 30+% assist rate guy, whereas in that last game where Simmons was out, we saw Seth Curry, Joe Harris, Kyrie. Those guys are more likely to shoot it than pass it. Gafford, non-COVID illness has been added to the injury report. Wasn't on the original injury report. There's a chance he sits out Monday. Porzingis will be back, which will ease the blowout. Okay. So if Gafford were to be down, and we've seen that mean a couple things, right? We've seen Taj Gibson start. They didn't give us anything for Denny, right? They did. 1 free throw. What? That's such a random thing to have. If you guys, is there anybody out there, anybody in there that can, I guess I can look it up. Nah, because somebody that has access, let's go to OddsShopper, F it, OddsShopper. I'm genuinely curious if books have been offering Denny Avisa rebound props. Shop bets, NBA. What do you think of Steph Curry for points over? I haven't looked at it. I'd imagine it's like, what, 27, 28, something like that. All right, you know what? I don't know how to use the site. Let's go back. Okay. Thinking Advil from Caps yesterday won't go away. Neither Orgel works and freaking dentists don't have appointments. Sucks. Dang, Moose, that sucks, bro. I think I've only had like a toothache once in my life, but I don't even remember it. I have broken my teeth. I don't know if I've showed you guys this, but right here and essentially both of my fang teeth. When I was like 19 or 20, I had a wrestling match where I jumped off the top rope and went through a table, and my face hit the floor first. And it busted my teeth. And what it did was it exposed a nerve that's in your teeth for a week or two. Like, it hurt to drink. It was so sensitive. I never really got official work on it done, but man, yeah, you forget how something that we're not used to, you know, having, I don't know, feeling on can really hurt. So my thoughts, my vibes to you on the toothache. That sucks. So the hunch on Avisa, and maybe it's just, I'm just late to the party. This man's rebound percentage is nuts, and even more so now, I think, if we take Hachimura off the court. And this is going to be a little not one-to-one because there's some Porzingis in and some out. But Avisa has let's take Porzingis off too. If we get more second unit run, olive oil works on dry sockets. Maybe we have regular toothaches. I don't know. So in that split, without Porzingis, without Hachimura, with Avisa on, there's a 15% of the team's total rebound opportunities and 24% defensive rebound rate. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because against the Spurs are pretty bad. Maybe you can get a low enough rebound prop for Avisa that you can get behind. Getting my teeth done tomorrow. Dang, it's a trend here. I hope you're doing. Hope it's a quick and easy operation, Mike. If Gafford can go and Porzingis is in, 9K Kuzma's still a thing, 7.2K Bradley Beal, like it's a plus matchup for every single one of them. The Spurs defense is so bad that I just kind of throw my hands in the air on who delivers. I've been very much out on Beal lately because I'm pessimistic about what to put his minute projections at. 33, 30, 30, 28, 29. We haven't seen him play deep minutes, and we're talking competitive basketball games. So I've just been less inclined to get to him. And if Porzingis is back, with Porzingis, you know, with his usage being what it is, I'd probably be likeliest to get the Kyle Kuzma with the expectation of him playing super deep minutes. And I don't really know what the expectation for Porzingis would be in terms of how much he would play. He was down with an ankle, missed 3 games, so he's 9 days. Yeah, I'd probably take a dab of Kuzma. On the Spurs side, with J. Rich questionable, Langford, Devin Vassell down. Keldon Johnson is probably the more intriguing guy to get to. No warm and fuzzies on anyone in this lineup. Zach Collins on 4K remains interesting at worst because of his per minute production. If you can get him to a 20+ minute projection, he's probably going to deliver. 24 minutes, 30, but it's very volatile, and I don't think it's that necessary, especially when we do have pretty decent value in the front court. So as much as I hate to be light on a 241 total Spurs game, I don't have anything that's just like screaming at me. I think Kuzma is the most intriguing. I'm getting a 40 fantasy point projection on Beal and Porzingis, but all those guys, I would walk away from 40 from Porzingis all day, and then Bradley Beal, if he got to 40 on the slate this big, as much of a headache as his minutes have been, I would just let the field have that 40. But I'll take Kuzma. Where can I get olive oil? Oh, it's clove oil. I keep saying olive oil. I just thought it was a autocorrect or something. Clove oil. I don't know what even is that. That's so awesome. You guys are just throwing. That's pretty cool. Thoughts on Tyrese Maxey points tonight? So I guess I would feel better if Embiid didn't play. But there's still a path to favorable outcome, I guess, for that. What is it? 10 plus? It does seem kind of low. So he has is it 10 even? 9.5? 10.5? Either way, that seems kind of low. What up, Ant? I was waiting for you to save Sami Zayn at the Royal Rumble. Nah. So well done. It was such a beautifully done story. All right, let's move on. Still at the 8 p.m. tip-off time. We've got Steph Curry, Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green taking on SGA, Josh Giddey, Aaron Wiggins, Jalen Williams, 242.5 total. And I don't know who's obviously the Warriors are favored, but I don't have the I'm gonna guess 7.5. That would be my guess. We'll see. Warriors are 5. 5 to 5.5. All right, cool. I guess they have been less effective on the road. It works. Clove oil does. What up, Eric? Hope you're doing all right. I have to keep that in mind. Steph Curry, Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green. So if they're full strength here, I think with the death squad being what it is, Curry, Poole, Klay, I always put Klay at the top and then just kind of flip a coin between Poole and Klay. But I think Klay's more likely to hit than Poole as of late. But I don't want to just go off a hunch. Let's get the actual palpable, quantifiable numbers on those three on the court together this season. But it feels like lately it's been Curry, then Klay, then Poole. You think of Anthony Edwards' rebounds and assists over 10.5? I do like Ant Edwards today. Give me a second and we'll look at. I'll go back and look at that specifically. Let me wrap this part up. Appreciate the questions. 26.4% usage rate on Curry in this split, 25 on Klay. So yeah, as it felt like that would be the hierarchy, the podium for me. Curry up top, Klay second, and then Poole, and then you just kind of go from there. Andrew Wiggins, 6K, getting about a point per minute projection on 25, not making anybody else a priority. If this game does stay competitive, likeliest outcome is that SGA offered 50 plus. He has to at this price point. You get there. 99 on DraftKings, 59, 51, 53. I mean, you just want 50? Jeez, go get you some SGA. And this pace should be much higher than the last game against the Cavs. Probably a little bit more like the Atlanta side, but I think the defensive efficiency is stronger for this version of the Warriors here. So I probably wouldn't. I guess I'll just run it. I'll just expect 50. And we have a projection of 54 to 51, which in the grand scheme of the entire slate would be good for top 10. So I'll take it. Past him, it's rough. Josh Giddey, I do think I'll set the rule to not have Giddey and SGA in the same lineup at these prices. But I really don't want to have to guess on Aaron Wiggins or the front court. So hopefully one of those guys don't go completely stupid on us, because otherwise I'll just lose. All right, so the question was Anthony Edwards rebounds and assists. All right, so let's go back to the T-Wolves. CBD business in Detroit. You know, I got a friend, my boy ABP, double millionaire. He runs a business up there in Detroit, man. It's not CBD, but it is a business. So shout out to all the business owners over there in Detroit. Detroit Rock City. All right, let's put Russ. And I guess we'll put Gobert too, because Gobert would have a pretty decent trickle effect for rebound rates. All nice people in Wisconsin. I'm a Packer fan. Went to Lambeau last in the season. Sue FX. Appreciate that sub. Hope you're doing all right. Golden State's winning, right? They should. Golden State certainly has been underwhelming on the road at times. And it would be that type of game. I swear it's like the teams you don't expect it. But yes, I would. If I had to bet and it was even odds, I would obviously always go Golden State in this spot. Anthony Edwards, 7.5% of total rebound opportunities in this split with Gobert, with almost 20% of assist rate. How much does that total rebound opportunity go up without Gobert? Actually goes down. Is that no 10.3%? So I guess ultimately my answer to you on the rebound and assist question would be that I don't have one, but I guess because of the pace, if we did the lazy analysis, like it goes it goes up a little bit. So Edwards 4.5 assists per game, so about 10.5 assists and rebounds per game. And what's the line? Edwards 10.5. So essentially they priced it at his season average. And today is a matchup against a fast-paced team with the best offense. So that's lazy analysis, but 16. I think the pace would probably make me. Yeah, I would probably lean the over on that. What do I? Yeah, I'd lean. Oh, I guess we'll look at rebound rate, offensive rebound rate, defensive rebound rate. It's all good. Let's go to team metrics. I'm in Maine, small town, old paper mill town. Oh, you love, bro. Maine accents, like the pure Maine ones. Those are so. I could just listen to them all day. There's a show called. It's not Pickers. Dickers, I think is what it is. I'm not even joking. I think it's called that. Something about. But and the guy on that show just has this accent. It's just so satisfying to listen to. T-Wolves 101.8 in Sacramento, right behind them. So I guess the pace up spot with the tight spread, I would lean the over. So the logic being over his season game to game average. So yes, and I guess to remember that later, we'll go Anthony Edwards over 10.5 R and A. I think that's a good shout. Who asked that? Shout out. Chat's moving fast today. Whoever asked that, that's a good shout. I like that. I think that's a solid one. Oh, Massachusetts. Oh, I thought we were talking about Maine. Oh no, somebody did say. Oh, okay. My bad. On the Fox River in Green Bay. Dude, I bet, it's gonna be cold over there right now. Anthony, shout out to Anthony for that one. Not only does he have a super solid suggestion, but he has a really good name. 8:30 p.m. Pistons, Mavericks, project starting 5 for the Pistons. Jay Nivey, Alec Burks, Sadiq Bey, Bojan Bogdanovic, Jalen Duren taking on Luka Doncic, Spencer Dinwiddie, Tim Hardaway, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Dwight Powell. We got 229.5 total, 8.5 points spread in favor of the Dallas Mavericks. So Luka carrying a Q tag on him. My instant reaction was 8.5 point spread for a team without Luka and Christian Wood. Doesn't feel real, so I would probably expect Luka to play. But we'll see if there's any literature that would sway the lean. Sprained left ankle, blah, 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 questionable. Did not play Saturday. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Dallas Mavericks offensive rating without Luka Doncic this season. 109.8. And then with, good God, that's an 8-point difference in offensive efficiency. That makes me think an 8.5 point spread, if I was just letting Vegas decide, pushes Luka closer to in than out. So that's just my guess. And if he's in, the Detroit Pistons suck, especially at surrendering fantasy points to opposing guards. So yeah, we don't need reasons to play Luka. If he's in, I'm playing him. But I guess it would just make us feel better if we had a definitive answer on that. If he's not in, Spencer Dinwiddie takes over at the driver's seat, and he delivered in that last game. You know who didn't deliver? Dwight Powell. Let's go Dallas. Any 100% picks tonight? Not right now, Mevul. I have Claxton over 16.5 points. I feel like there's like a traffic jam of DFS players and then prop bettors in chat right now. And I've been wanting to launch a standalone prop show like we had last year, but I don't really have, like, I need a team for the prop side because I can't do all that by myself. And my team from last year no longer with us. Let's put Luka off. Let's put Christian Wood off. Let's put Dinwiddie on. Do you have a prop picks membership? I don't. Might be something we think about. It's a lot behind the scenes to run as a solo. So Dinwiddie without Luka or Christian Wood this season, 236 minutes, 1.3 fantasy point per minute, a little bit under $1.25, 34% usage rate. So you add in the revenge weight and the revenge model against the Pistons, and Dinwiddie drops 55 tonight if Luka misses. All right, so hopefully we get definitive Luka news. Dwight Powell, Dorian Finney-Smith, Tim Hardaway Jr., all those guys saw elevated ownership in that last outing against Utah. Mixed bag of results here. On the Pistons side, we've seen them go to this version of the lineup now, at least 2 games in a row. Alec Burks is still something that I probably land on a decent amount at 4,900. I should probably move that minute projection from 22 to like 29, 27, 30. And he's a guy that I'm pretty confident being closer to a point per minute. So let's see, Dinwiddie. Oh. I got a query. Let's see. Can we do Dallas Mavericks pace rating with Luka Doncic? Because Luka's the slowest guy in the league this season. And let's see if we can tangibly increase 94.9. Holy cow. Okay, and then how about without? Is there can we quantify them being much faster? Not really. Okay. Who's 99% guarantee? Y'all are killing me. Achua's near 100% DFS. Yeah, that dude's a monster right now. I just tried to bet second half Kyrie points. His fourth quarters are nuts. Maybe. I like that thought conscious. The only pushback I would have today on that logic is obviously you would wait to pull the trigger, but there's certainly a range of outcomes for the Nets to have a healthy lead here, right? 9-point spread against the backups of the backups Lakers. So the fourth quarter may not be 1-to-1 today to what it has been lately. But yeah, I can get down with him putting on a show for LeBron courtside. All right, I don't have any strong leans on the Pistons here. They all just kind of fall where they fall, and expecting this to be a slower and pace game for them. So let's move on. I guess before we do that, take a pause for the cause. Let you guys know after the stream, I'll be in the RunDFS.com NBA VIP Discord. If you guys want to get in that, go to rundfs.com, click VIP memberships. Look, I need to add some more screenshots here, but yeah, we got a Discord full of every bankroll level, every style of play. Our boy ABP has won not one but 2 million makers. Our girl Celia, I haven't seen her in a couple of days, grinding quarter arcades. Of course, I'm in there doing my thing. We got people at all different bankroll levels, so if you've been hesitant to join because you don't feel like your single entries or your 20 entries are up to par, it doesn't matter, bro. We don't care. There's no egos here. And you want to unlock the spreadsheet, all that good stuff, go to rundfs.com, click memberships. Something for everybody. Week pass, 2 week pass, month pass. We got the All-Star. This is probably my favorite one right now. Get locked in until the MLB All-Star break, or you can just get locked in for the whole year. And the 3 sports I spearhead are NBA, NFL, and baseball. All of our memberships come with a credit towards Fantasy Cruncher, and we got NASCAR in a couple weeks, and I'm gonna get with Smeezy to see what I got to do to help support that grind, to where it's something I can feel better about advertising. Like, I don't want to advertise stuff that there's not an obligation to serve, but we'll be grinding some NASCAR, especially at Daytona. So jump in on that. We'll have a lot of fun with it, and then take advantage of those credits towards Fantasy Cruncher. Once you do upgrade your membership, click VIP portal. Definitely get into the rundfs.com NBA or Discord, and I'll be in the voice chat in about an hour. A lot of chilling, a lot of shooting the breeze as we make our player pool tonight. Where are we at on likes? We had 280, y'all. I bet we get to 300 plus. We haven't got the over 300 live viewers in like a couple months. So today might be the day, which means we can get a lot of likes. So 100's the daily goal. If you guys are out there, even hit that thumbs up button, click that for me, show some love. And then while you're there, make sure you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, would appreciate you if you helped me out. We're trying to get to 9K subscribers on the channel. Last week was one of our biggest jumps in the subscriptions. I think it's because we did streams every day. Yeah. All right. All of that done. Have you started your 10-day challenge that everyone is doing? My 10-day challenge? What is that? Is that the $10 to 10K thing? I've not. I've done the 10K to $10 challenge a few times. Probably not as fun. But no, I have not. If I did a video about that, would that be... That just seems very risky and stupid. And has anyone actually succeeded? Raptors at the Suns, 9 p.m. tip-off. So we got to go from 8:30 to 9 o'clock, and then we have an hour before the last game. So kind of chilling by itself is this Raptors and Suns. Project starting 5 for the Raptors: Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent, Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, and Precious Achiuwa taking on Chris Paul, Mikal Bridges, Cameron Johnson, Torrey Craig, and DeAndre Ayton. 221 total, 1.5 point spread in favor of the home team Phoenix Suns. OG Anunoby out. And then Devin Booker, Cameron Payne, Landry Shamet all out. So Anunoby has been a big one, and that has created an opportunity for Achiuwa to play deeper minutes, 30 plus minutes. Bubbles. BX, is that Bronx? Or is that just BX? Yeah, Achiuwa's crushing it. Especially per minute. So, yeah, there might have been some favorable spots as of late, but just per minute, really against any matchup, you just can't get away from that. So I guess this would be a great talking point. Let me refresh ownership projections. Paul and Boats. I love that name. You're on day 2. So how does that work, Ant? Do you just straight up put $10 on one bet, or you diversify in the $10? Then who's your top value play on the slate? Who's your favorite to spend up? Right now, I kind of have an Anthony Edwards feeling in my bad knee. Value play, let's just sort the projections. Got the day 7 and took out and started over. I like that. Bronx in the house. Shout out to Bronx. Value play. I gotta fix Claxton's price. I guess Rui Hachimura, points per dollar, without LeBron James, looking pretty good. Matchup looks better if Ben Simmons is out. But I guess Rui Hachimura would be the top value play. What up, loyalty? One guy got to day 9 and lost $5,000. Oh, dang. The message got deleted. What was it? And then went viral. Or TikTok betting creators started doing 10-day challenge. Dang. Two-Face Animal with the sub, man. Appreciate you. That's crazy. That's tough. What? See, that's that flash in the pan bull crap, man. Like, you should be playing the profit. If you... Can you imagine? Oh. So is it just like martingaling the profits? It's not even martingaling because you're not losing in that equation. To just expect to go 10-0 10 days? That's just crazy. If I got to 5,000, I wouldn't risk it all to double it. No, absolutely not. What a weird challenge. Like, I respect the idea of the challenge, but it's just not. I don't know. Achua's looking really good. Hard to miss, hard to fail. So I'm loading up on Precious Achua. All the Raptors really, really deep minute projections. So might get to a maximum of 3 in the lineup. I don't know that I would actually, like, the projections would actually fall to where I'm loading up on, 3, but I'll allow up to 3 and let it do its job. And Chris Boucher, 3,600 on DraftKings. So I had this hunch the other night, and it didn't really do anything, but I was thinking, since Anunoby's down with that front court, with Siakam and Achua, and tonight going against a high usage center, is there a range of outcome where some foul trouble could create more minutes, and it, projecting fouls is whatever, but could it create more minutes, more opportunity instantly for a guy like Boucher? And I guess since Nurkic didn't play that last game, I guess Jeremy Grant did, so there's that. But I don't know. Achua in the first quarter, no fouls. All right, so the guess is, would Boucher have an out to like 22, 24, 25 minutes if we saw some foul trouble in the front court? It's an open-ended question, is what it is. So I think on DraftKings, if I was trying to get to 150 lineups, I think I would allow up to like 4 or 5% Boucher. I would set a specific rule to not be in a lineup with probably Achua, but maybe Siakam. How does this work? Boucher came in for Achua. Actually, it looks like Boucher, every one of Boucher's minutes were directly opposite. Not everyone, but like 90% of his minutes were directly opposite Achua. And then there was a little bit of overlap. What was that about? For Gary Trent, they went super big there. So if I wanted to get to some Boucher on a hunch in 100K to first, I'd probably set a rule that Boucher can't be in the same lineup as Precious Achua. Yeah. What up, Jack? Clove oil can be found at Walmart pharmacy section. Dude, you guys are like the best. I really like. That's awesome that you guys are helping each other out. None of that. Oh, you got a toothache? That sucks. Hey, Gunn, who do you think about Jeremy Grant tonight? You guys are trying to help each other out. That's amazing. I do parlays on FanDuel, though. I take 5 players with minus 600 to 1,000 props, and it averages to minus 101. So, Anthony, how many picks do you have to do? Let's say you had 4 minus 600 to minus 1,000, and you put them all together just to get even money odds. Not that that's a bad thing. I'm just genuinely curious because I saw a parlay on Twitter the other night. I want to say it was 11-12 leg, and it was like plus 110. And I was like, bro, there's no way in the world I'm sweating a 10-leg parlay for just above even money. That sounds crazy. So I'm just curious, how many legs do you do on those type of odds? 10-day challenge is a content grab. Yeah, seems like it. Like, it is fun, but it's not very wise. Like, I wouldn't recommend people do that. But there's like a whole section of this market, this community, that I'm not super in tune with yet. I'd like to be a little bit more prevalent in the prop space, but because a lot of the prop content is so bad, but I can only do so much, How do you feel about Lonnie and Troy Brown? Thought of pairing them in DFS? Yeah, I think all the obscure Lakers value is fine. I do think there's some landmines in the Lakers value tonight. Could be Lonnie, could be Troy Brown, could be Wenyen Gabriel, you know what I'm saying? Where they're not all going to smash, so I'm going to be responsible with restricting those guys. I'm just going to let Schroeder rip, Rui Hachimura rip, Thomas Bryant rip, Westbrook. I'm not going to set parameters on those guys, but the role players, like the Austin Reeves, the Troy Browns. I guess Lonnie Walker's above a role player, so maybe I'm dogging him, but I guess this is, post Hachimura trade, and Lonnie Walker's missed some time, but he's probable today. So Lonnie Walker hasn't played significant minutes since essentially Christmas. So I guess there's still a loose chance that maybe he's not ready for 30 minutes, but that's just me talking out loud. How much money do you typically put on your bets each night? So I play DFS as my main source. I don't get to individually bet on sportsbooks. I live in the state of Texas, and sports betting is not legal. So the way that I do get action on player props is through PrizePicks. And if you guys are on a restricted, this is beautiful. You ready? And if you guys are in a restricted state that is still in the Stone Age and doesn't allow sports betting, well, you too can circumvent the rules by using PrizePicks. You can download the app on your phone. You can use it on your desktop. And when you do download it and when you do sign up, you can use code GUNDACKER. They're going to double that first deposit up to $100. $20 becomes $40. Instant site credit, no slow drip, none of that. Play through it 50 times. Cash out with Bitcoin, but not the real Bitcoin, a second one. No, it's right away. And when you do that and you use my code, they show me some love. They help keep these streams free on the daily. That was good. So go check them out if you haven't already. Shout out to the 300 plus people hanging out right now. That means more than you guys will ever know. All I ask, you hit that thumbs up. And I would appreciate that forever. So on the Sun side, so DeAndre Ayton, Chris Paul, the two most intriguing clicks for me in this split. And since it is a 1-point spread, kind of expected to go down to the wire a little bit. And without Devin Booker, we've seen Ayton's per minute usage rate be, Ayton's usage rate be the highest at like 28%. 100 likes, we get the belt. Yeah, I can pull out the belt. It's close enough. I gotta defend the belt next month, by the way. DM on Twitter if you want to check it out after the show. You DM'd me what? Oh, your parlays? I'll check it out. If you ever DM me on Twitter, just know that it goes to the other folder, and you'll always have to tweet at me and let me know that you DM'd me. Alright, Ant, I see your DM. It says accepted the request, but it didn't show me a video or a picture. Oh, there it is. So you threw me. Do you mind if I put this on air? Just because my eyes and I'm an old man. Can we get some PrizePicks? How long have you had the belt gun? I won the belt in, I want to say December. I'm not sure. So you do a 6-leg parlay, Harden minus 600, Kyrie, blah, blah, blah. So you put 6 picks together for even money. So these are just alt lines, taking alt lines at a high probability. Man, dude, that's a lot of risk for. I don't know. I guess that wouldn't be my approach, but if it's working for you, don't let me push you off of it. But that's a lot. Where do you stay in Texas? I'm in Houston. I live in Waco. I used to live in Huntsville, closer to Houston. Where we at on Lex? 85. All right. So if you're new to the channel, in an alternate life, I'm a pro wrestler, and I guess you guys want to see the tag belt. I'm one half of the tag team champions at Heart of Texas Pro. So at 100 likes, we'll pull out the belt. Can we get some prize picks? Yeah, Bryce. The two that I have jotted down, Bryce, right now are Claxton over 16.5 points and Edwards over 10.5 rebounds and assists. We'll see if something else comes out. Birthday's in December. Hopefully you went on the 16th. I don't remember what it was. Whatever it was a Sunday. Finney Smith versus Hachimura on FanDuel. Probably Hachimura for me. Not probably. It would be Hachimura for me. But DFS can rack up some of those defensive peripherals, especially against a team like the Pistons. What were we doing? All right, so in this split, Chris Paul, Ayton on, Booker off. 29% usage rate on Ayton, Chris Paul 22%. And then Ayton's per minute production is better than anyone. The only pessimism that I had about Ayton, and we had it last slate as well, is his minutes. And he got up to 37 minutes against the San Antonio Spurs, which ironically, if you would have told me 37 minutes against the Spurs at 7,600, I would have had 100%, and it would have not worked out well. So that's crazy. So I guess against Toronto, if that makes us feel better about his minutes, I'm fine with getting to Ayton. Wouldn't be up tier 1 or tier 2 because of the matchup, pace down spot, grindier defensive matchup, and a tight spread. But that's how it shakes out in terms of the usage and point per minute production, you know? Remind me of Dakotas, a streamer on Twitch. I love Dakotas. Travis, Dakotas has killed me before. Way back when. My man coned me. Threw me in a... he coned me and danced on me. But Dakotas, yeah, he got those vibes. It's funny that you mentioned that. Is this mine or his? He had to delete all of his clips, but this is me, right? This is back when I was a Billy Bob.
Yeah, these guys are gonna be annoying.
And he was on let me see. Let me just get to. I was so bad back then.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this guy's.
That's Dakotas right there.
Like, yeah, they both are.
He cones me, dances on me.
Is this
and
Dakotas?
Yeah. So it's funny. It's a small world that you mentioned that, Travis. Anyway, what do you think about Josh Richardson with Langford out, please, for DFS? So Langford was out last game, right? Richardson is at. Can we see your matches online? There might be a couple of them. 25 minutes against the Lakers, 3 for 12. So double-digit shot attempts. That's at least encouraging. Oh no, that was on the 25th, so that wasn't the last game. So I put a projection of, let's go Josh Richardson, 21. Branham was starting. I would probably expect that to be the same. I don't really have a reason to be on J Rich, especially unless he specifically drew the start. You know what I mean? So if he's not in the starting lineup, I wouldn't have a reason to be there more than usual just because of Romeo Langford being out, you know? What is my reasoning for Claxton's over? So in this split without... man, I'm running out of time. But in this split without Kevin Durant, Claxton's usage has been about 20%. And it's already a positive matchup in terms of scoring. And all of Claxton's buckets are high percentage in the paint type of stuff. And if you look at that stretch, other than the last game, in that last game, there was no Ben Simmons. And we know Simmons is a 30+% assist rate. He'll pass the ball. So I did write down that I would feel better if Simmons is in, whether versus Joe Harris, Seth Curry, and Kyrie on the court, because then he goes from third to fourth. But if he's the third option and Ben Simmons does play, I like him to take double-digit shot attempts. And yeah, 20+ real points in that stretch with no KD, with Ben Simmons starting. So that's the reasoning there. I think it's still playable if Ben Simmons is out, but I like it better if Ben Simmons is in, if that makes sense. Nothing you can do. Your voice is similar to his. Really? I feel like Dakotas has a much higher pitch voice. Really good guy though. Really nice vibes. All right, let's go to the last game, and then I'll try and throw a net over everything. We do have 100 likes, so we'll close with the bell. Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, Clint Capella taking on Damian Lillard, Anthony Simons, Josh Hart, Jeremy Grant, Yusuf Nurkic. Nurkic and Hart both have tags for this one, and that's pretty pertinent for them because we saw Nurkic not start the last game. I believe Eubanks did. Left calf soreness for Nurkic. Can we see your tag team partner next show? You guys just keep him in the closet? You better hope they get 150 likes, or you're going to be in there all month. Is that what you meant? Left calf soreness on Nurkic. Josh Hart, right hamstring tightness, questionable. If Nurkic can't go, we're looking at Drew Eubanks. So let's pull up Portland. In that spot, Nas Little started, Drew Eubanks started, and we saw 29 minutes for Nas. Eubanks got 4 fouls. Trendon Watford also picked up a decent chunk of minutes. A YouTube gun and Ahmed Johnson came up, maybe. Keldon, I don't want to. Yeah, Keldon Johnson, will lead that Spurs team in usage. So if you had to get to a Spur, Keldon would be in the forefront. This sucks. So the Nurkic Hart news probably won't happen until deep into this slate, perhaps with only 1 or 2 games before that game tips. So is what it is. Go off a hunch. I don't really feel a need to take that risk on Hart and Nurkic this far out. But obviously Nas Little at 3,400 or under 4K on FanDuel would mean a little bit more, or let you do a little bit more if we knew that from this far out. And kind of the same with the front court with Watford and Drew Eubanks. So not insignificant, but just what are you going to do? We just won't have that news more than likely. On the Hawks side, looking for a little exposure on DeJounte, Trae Young, probably be pretty lukewarm on everybody else. And then on the Blazer side, Damian Lillard's just been on one as of late. I'm sure that last game, he did benefit from a guy like Nurkic and Hart to an extent being down. But even preceding that, his usage is so sky high right now that 20 plus to 30 shot attempts isn't an outlandish expectation. So just looking at the month of January, looking for a name, photo, a video, YouTube in action. So his name is Marcus Rose. Fun fact, Marcus Rose, Gundacker. The team name is Guns and Roses. So it's funny. Almost 1.5 fantasy point per minute for Damian Lillard in the month of January, with a 34% usage rate, 36% assist rate. Dame Dollar making money ain't new to him. You're looking for a late night hammer, certainly as good as any tonight. The downside is a game where he has 30 real points, such as the Raptors game, didn't mean anything for this price point. So you really need him to bring his A game. But I do think Damian Lillard is somebody I'm going to get to an aggressive clip. If we look at the projections tonight, Lillard is not that far now. So I got him top 6 in raw fantasy point projection, and I'm fine considering the Trae Young defense and the pace and the implied total here. 237 total is that's a lot of points for a Blazers game. So I like Damian Lillard quite a bit, and I would assume that his usage can only go up when we take Nurkic off, right? So just to isolate this sample size a little bit more. I'm not going to mess with Josh Hart too much. About 40% usage, over 1.5 fantasy point per minute. So, I'm going to like Damian Lillard quite a bit tonight. And hopefully he can close some good lineups. All right, that's our slate. So, as a reminder, in about 25-30 minutes, I'm going to be in the RunDFS.com VIP Discord. If you guys want to chill and chat with me, it's going to be pretty lackadaisical, laid back, Cadillac Jack, making some lineups, a couple of veterans in there. You guys can get to that behind the paywall at RunDFS.com. But I do have about 10 minutes, I would say. So if you guys had final questions, comments, concerns, or if some of you guys out there have some PrizePicks plays that you're kind of thinking about, you want to mull over, hey, throw them at chat. I'll look at them, and we'll see if the metrics kind of push us that way as well. Because I do want to get at least 3 more in my blender tonight. And if you had any questions that I missed already pertaining to this slate, whether it be DFS or prop-wise, throw them at me, and we'll try to address them. NFT RJ, how you feel about Chris Paul? I definitely don't mind Chris Paul. And I guess Ayton, and I probably didn't give enough credence when I mentioned it a minute ago, but didn't they go to overtime last game? So that probably did help boost the result minutes for Ayton. So I guess I don't mind Chris Paul, but I do think at that price point, I don't know. I guess that's a fair price point, 40 plus. I'll take it, especially in a competitive game. But I don't know that this is a super ceiling game, and I think there is some value at the point guard position if you go down to like a Schroeder. I think Westbrook is going to have a similar projection at about $1,000 cheaper. And then I do like the idea of paying up for a couple of point guards like Damian Lillard, or going over into the guard forward area for Anthony Edwards. So I don't hate Chris Paul individually, but I don't know that I'm going to get there a lot tonight. 5 Lakers too many? Probably. Jeremy Grant. So Grant would look better if Nurkic was out. I think he's playable regardless. But no, 1% usage. I guess Damian Lillard just hogs everything. 0.86 fantasy point per minute with Lillard on, Nurkic off. So I think he's fine, but not something I jam in or run away from, right? I'm getting 30 plus fantasy points. That's about what you need, what you want. Can you stream your matches? I can't stream my matches because I'll be in the ring. And this is still Texas, guys. Like, I think my next match is in, I don't even know the city. I don't even know if they have internet there. But we'll try to get some stuff up there. I know I've tweeted video before. Freddie V or Chris Paul. Fred VanVleet or Chris Paul for single entry. Ooh, that's a good one. I'd probably lean Chris Paul. Yeah, I'd probably lean Chris Paul. How you feeling about Draymond Green over 23.5 PRA against the Thunder front court? I definitely don't mind it. If we're getting a similar lineup that they've been rolling out, where Draymond's getting some more center minutes, right? 13, 11, 13 rebounds. So 20. What happens if we isolate that to just rebounds, assists? 15.5 rebounds, assist. I'd probably rather take that than the PRA. It just feels like Draymond scoring is so, you know what I mean? So if I had to take one, if I had to get some action on Draymond, I'd probably want the rebounds and assists. D'Angelo Russell, I don't mind Russell at all. Am I going to be the next Miz protege? Nah. Guys, I'm still old. Remember, I'm old. I've been doing this for a long time. I don't think you're going to be seeing me on TV anytime soon. Bryce says 6 leg. Dennis Schroeder over 27.5 fantasy. SGA over 31 points. Steph over 27. Correlates positively. D-Russ over 28.5 PRA. Beal under 30.5 PRA. Ooh, a Beal under. That's interesting. That's not. I like where you're thinking, though. DiVincenzo more than 1.5 threes made. I don't see anything specifically that I disagree with. I'm impressed that you have a Beal under, actually. Usually YouTube chats is all overs. Yeah, I don't have any pushback on any of that. Just to go off of that under. Let's go to Washington. Josh played Draymond PRA on the under on PrizePicks, just saying. So I could see the PRA being under. I don't mind that at all. But if you were trying to get some Draymond overs, I'd probably just take points out of the equation, and rebounds and assists would probably be the way I did that. All right, so let's see. Beal, Kuzma, Porzingis. I remember Beal hasn't been playing minutes either, so 28 to 30 minutes, not an unreasonable range of outcome. And in this split, Beal 26% usage, still high enough usage. That doesn't seem right. Oh, that's this month. That still doesn't seem right. I guess it's just a lack of minutes doing it. Him and Jam and Bill. Yeah, Bill for me is more of a minutes problem than a usage problem. 33, 30, 30, 28, 20. I remember this is a stretch without Porzingis, and these are close games. So for whatever reason, they're just not interested in playing Bradley Beal 38 minutes, you know? Have Draymond over on PRA. So what I was saying there, RJ, is if I wanted an over on Draymond, so his PRA is what? 23.5. His RA is 15. So you're taking 8 points, implied points in that. Like, is it worth sweating 8 points from Draymond Green? 5, 8, 9, 11, 8, 6, 5, 5, 4. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather just take points completely out. But I guess, I don't know, if your gut's telling you to go with PRA, go with it. But I'd rather just go rebounds and assists on a guy like Draymond. Russell 8.5 rebounds and assists. I don't mind that. Sohan over on points. Sohan's been a monster. Big slate. I think Jeff. Oh, are you talking about? Yeah. 20 plus shot attempts for Sohan against Phoenix. Is that a instant beneficiary from? How do you have 30 points on 11? That's crazy. So what was the prop on Sohan? Sohan over on points. 13.5 points. Yeah, okay. All right. Let's go San Antonio. I like Claxton over a fantasy. Sohan over on points. Trent Jr. over on points first half. That's a bonus under on rebounds and assists. That's fair. I do think Sabonis might have got a little unlucky last game when it came to assists. Looks like his teammates were not hitting at a high clip. Let's do Sohan on, I guess, Langford off. I do think there's some volatility in the Spurs lineup. But Sohan and Johnson on this season. I guess we got to take Devin Vassell since it's a full season sample. Yeah, he had a big game, but like I don't want to chase. But I do think he's growing as a player. Almost a 20% usage on the season. And then if we go to just the month of January, like Schroeder assist prop, 20. It goes all the way up to 24.4% usage. I don't mind that. I think that's a solid take. Sohan. 26.5. What do I have him on points? Let me see. Player props. Sohan. I have him for 10. I might swim around that a little bit. See if we can bring that up. I do think. I think my projection is too low no matter what. But 13.5. Yeah, maybe. All right, Achua over 8.5 rebounds. Capella over 30.5 fantasy. Joe Harrison. Blah 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 blah. Man, there's a lot of you guys talking props. Guys, if I launched a prop show specifically, like we did last year. So last year we did the DFS show at 3 p.m. Eastern, and I did the prop show at 2 p.m. Eastern. Would you guys be interested in that? I definitely have to find some co-hosts for that though. Because it looks like a lot of you guys are just stumbling in here for propping, which I love it. Don't get me wrong, but it is hard to serve two masters. I stack with Bryant fantasy score. I think that's fair. All right. I gotta get to work on my player pool, so I'm gonna head over to the premium Discord. But yeah, we'll let that simmer. We did a prop show last year. It was pretty popular, but I had a co-host that helped. But I do think there's enough of you guys here for props and enough of you guys here for DFS that you both deserve your own tailored show. I think obviously the DFS show will always have prop questions, but it's hard to do all of them at once in a 2-hour window, you know? A co-host with me. I have a few guys I could probably reach out to. If you guys are content creators, a couple of you guys have reached out to me, like Beast Bets If you have a YouTube channel you're grinding and you are putting up content and that sounds like something you'd be interested in, send me a link on Twitter. And if I have a rotating seat too, I think that's fun too. We might let it happen. And if you're not, but you know somebody that is, like a young content creator, let them know. Tell them to send me a link. Like I said, a lot of the prop content's not great, but I'll do my best. I love gambling on sports. What's a must play in single entry? So probably some of the Lakers value. I don't know. I just got the Anthony Edwards. I think Anthony Edwards is going to be my guy tonight. If I hit the... Oh, I forgot to give you guys the belt. All right, let's do the belt, and then let's go home. Let's go home. Let's go home. Oh, shoot. I should probably stop keeping this thing on the ground. All right, boys. You guys are the champion today for getting to 100 likes. So, boom. That's your championship. I appreciate you guys. Let me put it back down. Appreciate you, Sleuth. If you guys are out there, you haven't hit that sub button, we'll be back tomorrow. Hit that sub button. Get notified. I'm heading to the Discord. I appreciate you guys making part of my afternoon, be part of your afternoon. Stay safe, stay warm out there. And please, please tell somebody you love them. You just don't know what the next man going through. I love you guys. Good luck. God bless. Throwing some money.